G'day, I'm E.T. Rock fishing is one of my big loves. It's one of those things that brings us back to nature. It's hard to resist, and I find the more I do it, the more I enjoy it. For some, it's a serious business involving careful skills and knowledge, and the best gear they can afford.
Probably go maybe 2 kilos.
For others, it's an excuse to get away from everything and enjoy life.
I like fishing because when I hook fish and fighting with fish, very exciting.
I love fishing because it's relaxing, free food sometime, and meeting the friends.
When the fish are on the bite, there's not a lot the passionate angler won't do to throw a line in. And the beauty of it is that with a minimal outlay, anyone can have a go. But, and it's a big but, rock fishing does have its risks. To reduce the threat of something happening and your family wondering where you are, I'd like to share a few simple, safe fishing tips with you. Remember, you're here to enjoy yourself, and that means don't put your life on the line.
G'day, my name's Alex Bellissimo. For years I've been teaching anglers how to fish safely and successfully off the rocks. For me, it's therapy, sport, and getting that fresh food on the table. It's great for the heart and soul, and every time I'm here, it feels just like a holiday. Yes! One of the most vital points many fishers overlook is never turn your back on the water. Sure, the sea is unpredictable, but you can minimise that by always keeping an eye on the water. In short, know what direction the swell's coming from and face that direction. Ask yourself, what's it doing? Picking up or falling off? Are you certain? Watch and wait and get a full idea of the swell and wave cycle.
Đầu tiên mấy bạn này chào qua sông luôn. Yeah, man.
Bear in mind the sea's at its most unpredictable during and after stormy weather and when the tides are at their peak. As for the weather, always check on the radio, telly or internet for the very latest up-to-the-minute forecast. And believe me, if it's a washout, look for somewhere more protected. It's just not worth the risk. I recommend you sign up for a weather alert. These can be sent straight to your phone. These free bumper stickers should be available at your local fishing club or shop. Just scan them with your smartphone and you'll get up to the minute info on weather and safe fishing. However, as good as phones are these days, you can't always rely on them. If you're fishing at the bottom of a cliff 100 clicks from the nearest town, a smartphone's not much good to you. So, as we keep reminding you, always make sure that someone knows where you are. Now, what about the spot you've chosen? Can I get out if the tide rises? What's my escape route? These two pictures show how radically things can change between low and high tide.
You know, I love the peace and quiet of dropping a line in, but it's very important not to fish alone. No one's saying make a party of it, but with 2 or more mates nearby, you're greatly improving your chance of survival if you're washed in.
What are you doing, mate? Why didn't you wait for us, mate?
Should have waited for us.
Anyway, lucky we got here in time, mate. I tell you, you would have in trouble.
In any case, you should always let people know where you're going to be.
Yeah, g'day. Where are you blokes? I'm down here waiting for you. You gonna be late? Alright, I'll see you when you get here. See ya.
Look out, she goes.
It's cold, it's windy, it's wet. What are you going to wear? You could put on the thickest, warmest, heaviest clothes you've got. And while you're at it, what about a weight belt? Because that's what it's like once they're wet, heavy and cumbersome. If you fall in the water, it'll probably take you a while to get out. So wear something light, like a spray jacket. For the same reason, go for the shorts instead of long pants. You can swim better, and they're not going to drag you under. Some people even reckon they're a good look. Now what about footwear? Gumboots? You've got to be kidding. Once they fill with water, they're concrete weights. Same with most heavy shoes. If you fall in, they make swimming hard work.
To make sure you don't go head over heels or slip into the water, think of the kind of rocks that you're fishing on. This here is hard volcanic rock. What you require is soft sole or rubber-based shoes that won't slide. For your softer type of rocks like sandstone and for fishing from wet, weedy rocks, shoes with cleats or spikes or even specially made felt rock fishing shoes are your best bet. Now, whatever you wear, ask yourself, with these clothes on, if I fell into the water, could I swim and stay afloat?
편안한 상의와 반바지 그리고 안전화를 착용하시기 바랍니다.
Here's a few safety items you should put in your kit. First up, there's no 2 ways of saying it. If you're not a good swimmer, wear a life jacket. Even if you are, give it some thought. When you're getting bounced around in the rough water near the rocks, a life jacket or buoyancy vest will keep you afloat for as long as it takes to get back on hard ground or be picked up. Some of the best fishers even wear wetsuits all year round. A good length of rope with a float is always handy if you need to fish a mate out of the water or help them up from the rocks.
I recommend that you keep your mobile on you at all times. In most emergencies, it's your first means of contact. Just dial 000 and it will work across all networks.
We need a helicopter. We're at North Kilkeel Rocks.
Also, you might want to stick it in a waterproof case or bag to keep the salt water out. Other safety items you can throw in include a torch, especially one of those head-mounted ones, which leaves your hands free, spare torch and batteries, a first aid kit, a personal EPIRB, especially if you're fishing out of mobile phone range, a whistle for attracting attention, especially at night, and some kind of flotation device.
Life can change in a heartbeat, so even if you take all the necessary precautions, accidents can still happen. We're dealing with nature here, anything is possible, so be prepared. If you are swept in, swim away from the rocks until you find a safe protected spot to get out from. Don't panic. You can't think clearly when you panic, and you'll only use up energy. You've just got to keep your head above water until you find a safe spot to swim to, or wait for your mates to help you out.
Which brings us to angel rings. ANSA has been positioning life buoys up and down the coast. Angel rings are a lifeline to anyone washed off the rocks. They're simple to use and effective. The only opponents are vandals, so be on the lookout and let ANZA and your local council know of any that have been damaged or stolen. And if you are involved in rescuing someone, make sure you wrap them up warmly and call for proper medical assistance once they're back on dry land.
We're lucky to access some of the greatest fishing in the world right on our doorstep. But don't take it for granted. We need to be on the lookout at all times and follow a few basic rules. Choose your location carefully. Observe first, fish later. Know your tides and weather. Wear the right gear. Use a life jacket if you can. Carry a rope and float. And keep your mobile on you. One last tip, don't drink and fish. Out here you need to have your wits about you, and that's not possible if you've had a couple. When you're dealing with nature, there are no guarantees, so think about what you're doing. You don't want to put your life on the line. After a good day fishing, you want to live to tell the tale.